The Royal Rumble is officially done and we are set on the road to WrestleMania. But for now, I want to take a quick look back at the PLE and then look forward to see where this takes us. First, let's get the title matches out of the way. We'll start with the weaker of the two because there's really not much to both of these. They're kind of foregone conclusions going in. We'll start with the Universal Championship Fatal 4-Way match, including AJ Styles, LA Knight, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns. Overall, this match just felt lacking. I'm not sure if it was the pacing, I'm not sure if it was the stakes. All of it just kind of felt like it wasn't all coming together. And with a match with this much star power, that is not what you want. But it also felt like regardless of the star power, we knew the outcome of this match. We knew who was winning. We knew there was no chance Roman was walking out without that title. And that made it really hard to become invested in any particular guy or any particular moment. Not to mention that this match had one of the more pointless bloodline interferences that wasn't even the finish of the match. Like, is it too much to ask that your WWE Universal Champion God King Roman Reigns wins one clean match? What's my cat doing? Hold on. That's Kenny. And yeah, as I was saying, pointless bloodline interference. Solo Sikoa comes out and stops a pin, and it's hard to listen to the commentators ride Roman Reigns every chance they can about how he's never been pinned in like 4 or 5 years, when, truth be told, he has. He has been pinned so many times. Kenny, what are you doing? I also felt like it was a questionable decision to take a lot of your star power on your roster, that being AJ Styles, LA Knight, and Randy Orton, and putting them all in this match when you've got a Royal Rumble right here. Like, that's not even a hindsight thing. That was a big problem for me going in, and I don't know how no one saw that as an issue. I can guarantee that we would have gotten a more exciting match out of just Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton, and AJ Styles and LA Knight would have been better used in the Rumble. Kenny is being silly. The only positives in this match for me is that LA Knight had a really good showing and AJ Styles took the pin. I think that was the right decision. I think there's still so much left in LA Knight's tank, and I think AJ Styles being pinned by Roman Reigns doesn't hurt him. He's still AJ Styles. That's the same way John Cena losing for 2 or 3 years straight doesn't make a difference. He's still John Cena. Yeah. Next up, let's go over Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens, which in my opinion sounds like the fight you missed on your day off from school. This match was about what you'd expect out of 2 performers of this caliber. Logan targeting the injured hand. KO looked like a huge threat to Logan's reign. At the end, I really thought he had it. But the star of this match was actually the referee. Somehow, someway, they found the only referee who knows how to do his job, and somehow the heel still won. It actually made for something that was really refreshing to watch. Logan introduces Brass Knuckles into the match. KO somehow gets a hold of them in the scuffle. KO hits Logan Paul with the Brass Knucks, goes down for the pin. 1, 2, and the referee notices the Brass Knuckles on his fingers. I can't lie, that finish actually got me. I thought it was done. I've never seen a referee just see with his own 2 eyes. It blew my mind. And the action wall to wall was really fun. Overall, it was a great match to pull the crowd back up, but the crowd was lacking, just not in this match, but in the show in general. They just weren't the best. They let a lot of things go by. But either way, that match was an incredible start to Logan's US title reign. It's getting increasingly more angering to say how good he is at this shit, but he's good at this shit. Kenny, what are you doing? You want to say sorry? He says sorry, guys. Oh my God. Moving on to the Women's Royal Rumble match and my personal match of the night. This match had everything you could ask for. It had surprises, had returns, it had TNA. What else could you ask for? Starting with the huge returns, we had Naomi at number 2. That was a personal moment for me. I've literally just been binge watching Total Divas with my girlfriend, and she's great. She seems really, really cool. And it was really cool to see her back in the company after she left on not the best terms. And at number 30, we had Liv Morgan coming back. That was my personal pick to win it. She did not. We got an appearance from Jordynne Grace, the TNA Knockouts champion, at number 5, and she looks like a star. she killed it. She looked like she belonged there. She had the crowd going like no tomorrow. Everyone was behind her. And I find it hard to believe that entire crowd knew who she was. So the fact that she can go out there and pull the crowd behind her just like that, just based on aura, just based on presence, she has it, and I expect to see her in the WWE in the future for sure. What's she doing back there, buddy? The star power in this one was really well spread out. The middle portion of this Rumble was definitely used to hype up the tag division. The call-ups from NXT were incredible. We had Tiffany Stratton come in at number 29 with a really late appearance, and we had Roxanne Perez at 27. Both of them in that sort of final stretch of the match. Because I don't want to say final four, because if I recall correctly, there wasn't one. All in all, this Rumble showed not only how stacked the current female roster is, with not a single returning legend. Come to think of it, the men's didn't have a single returning legend either, but also how prepared the WWE is to elevate their women's division moving forward, and that is always a plus, especially right now. That is something we really needed to see. Not that it was really in doubt, it's just it brings a sort of calm during the storm. Yo, future me here, I just realized I'm an idiot and I didn't talk about two of the biggest things in the women's Rumble, that being Jade Cargill debuting and also Bayley winning. I'm sorry, I don't know, I was in a rush. Jade Cargill's debut was insane. She looks incredibly strong. She kept most of her AEW presentation from what I know. They seem to be setting up a feud between her and Bianca. If that goes to Mania, I want to see that. Definitely big thumbs up from me. They were patient. They waited for the perfect moment to bring her in, and I think they smashed it out of the park. Bayley winning was one of the best choices on her. For me, it was either her or Liv or Becky, and her winning really furthers that story with Io and Damage Control, and that is going to blow up in the best way possible. And I can't wait to see it. And also, she deserves it. She has been so reliable for this company. She's been everything this company could want out of a performer and more, and it's really awesome to see her get her moment. Finishing up here with the men's Rumble, a bit less to say about the Rumble in general. For me, at times, again, just like the Universal Championship match, it felt a bit lacking, and that might be because of the Universal Championship match. It felt like going into this Rumble, we knew that the star power in WWE was insane, and then it just didn't feel like it was properly leveraged. So we start the match with Jey Uso at number 1 and Jimmy Uso at number 2, giving them a really fun little standoff, most likely teasing their eventual feud for WrestleMania. I have no issues with that. I know a lot of people don't like brother face-offs. I get it, but it kind of always works for me. I grew up in a house of 4 older brothers, so I grew up in a house of 3 older brothers, so brothers fight. It makes sense. It makes sense. It resonates with a lot of people. I'm excited to see it. Jay is one of my favorite faces at the moment. He's really up there for me. Anytime he comes out, I get hyped. So I'm willing to see whatever this kid does moving forward. I shouldn't call him a kid. He's like 15 years older than me. Moving on, we got a fun return, maybe the only real return, with Andrade at number 4. Of course, moving over from AEW, he had a great time there. I expect him to have a great time here. A really great performer in every single aspect and a really good catch for the WWE. Although that theme song is garbage. But we already knew that. Def Rebel. Other than that, the start of this Rumble really lacks the star power we expected to see from it until Cody comes in at number 15. That's the entire first half, and I've really only had 3 notable people to talk about. There was Carmelo Hayes in the first half, and that was really cool to see. I did expect to see Trick Williams come out, just maybe further their feud between each other, but I guess that wasn't the case. Surprise entrant at number 20 in Bron Breakker, another NXT call-up, and likely the replacement to Brock Lesnar after Brock Lesnar was implicated in the Vince McMahon allegation. By all reports, he came in and did everything Brock was supposed to do, and I'm all for that. I think Bron Breakker needs to get his time to shine. I think he can finally make his hit on the main roster. I think he came out looking like a star. That spear is incredible. He got the crowd moving. Yeah, sure. Maybe he didn't get a Brock Lesnar level pop. Maybe he doesn't have that Brock Lesnar level aura, but that's because that is years and years and years of build and then legitimate fighting championships behind it. Bron's gonna have his time. Bron can be made into that monster. And Bron is just an incredible athlete all the way around. Really excited to see more from him on the main roster. At 21, we have a returning Omos, and at 22, we have have a surprise entry of Pat McAfee, which was a surprise even to the man himself, which makes this photo really, really, really funny. Speaking of funny, this was one of the funniest Rumbles in a while. We had Pat McAfee coming in, eliminating himself with an ode to Drew Carey, I'm sure. We had the R-Truth bits, R-Truth thinking that he was entering the Women's Royal Rumble, Valhalla getting mad at him because she feels like he kind of messed up her role and she was immediately eliminated. And probably the funniest spot of the night was R-Truth's hot tag moment where he seemed to think that he needed to tag into the match. Dominic Mysterio tried to explain to him, no, you don't need to tag him. But then when Dominic Mysterio started getting beat up by Gunther, suddenly men were reaching for that tag. R-Truth also hot tagging in and attempting to do the 5 moves of doom, which was incredible. Now let's get to the juicy stuff with Punk finally making his return in the official Royal Rumble match, his return to WWE televised in-ring competition at 27. To a loud but overall lacking crowd reaction. They didn't even do "It's clobbering time." I did it in my room. I don't know if the broadcast missed it or if it just didn't come through, but for some reason I expected that crowd to erupt when he went for that, and they just didn't say a thing. I've heard reports that they couldn't see him. If that's the case, then yeah, I guess that's fair. Bent entryway, stupid entryway. Next up, we had Drew McIntyre at 29, Sami Zayn at 30. A lot of beef there. Sami Zayn coming back at 30 really warmed my heart. I was glad he got that big spot, and the crowd really got behind him when they heard his music pop. The strength, however, in this Rumble did not sit in the first half or even the first 2/3. The strength of this Rumble sat in the final 7, where every elimination really made you feel something. From Jay getting eliminated to Drew getting kicked out, Sami getting kicked out, everything hurt. We got down to our final 4 of Drew, Gunther, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes. And from then on, it was basically a 20-minute fatal 4-way match. Everything else became irrelevant. These dudes were chopping the absolute hell out of each other. You know, it was back forth, it was intense. Punk in the later half looked a little slow, but big but there. There are reports coming out now that he's injured and that he suffered a torn tricep in the middle of the match. So if anyone trying to say he's washed or he was gassed, you tear your tricep and then try to pick someone up. It's not going to happen. There's no chance. Drew was then eliminated, Gunther follows, and suddenly we have our final 2 that we all knew it was going to be Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. But after what felt like a slog in the best way possible, we finally got the closing moments of this match. Lots of reverse finishes, lots of hit finishes, and then finally Cody Rhodes throws CM Punk over the top rope to become the 2-time Royal Rumble back-to-back winner. I'd be lying to you if I said this didn't surprise me. I thought Punk had this locked in for sure, but it makes me really happy to see that WWE is willing to give their stars accomplishments. You know, they're willing to give people huge reigns. They're willing to give people back-to-back Royal Rumble wins, and that makes me happy. I feel like a big problem in why they haven't been able to build the stars they wanted to build is because they really weren't willing to give people the accolades that a Shawn Michaels has, the accolades that a Stone Cold Steve Austin has. You know, 3 Royal Rumble wins, back-to-back Royal Rumble wins, 1,000-day reigns, 15 world championships like John Cena and Randy Orton. They weren't willing to give these people these things. And because of that, the star power on the roster was constantly being diminished. When you look to these old guys and they have these huge accomplishments, and you look to the new guys and it's like they won the Money in the Bank, I guess. They won 1 Royal Rumble, lost at Mania, and then fell down the card. Overall, this was a really great moment to me, and it led to a moment that got me out of my seat with Cody Rhodes staring down Roman Reigns. After pointing at the WrestleMania sign, he turned around and pointed directly at him. We know where this is going. I know they're going to try to confuse us. I know they're going to put some red herrings like he might pick Seth. He's not picking Seth. It's not happening. Overall for this match, it was a weaker Rumble than the women's, that's for sure. It wasn't as surprising. It didn't feel as exciting until the end. Overall as a match, it just didn't grab me. But that final 7 hit like crack. Overall, Royal Rumble 24 was hopefully a good sign of things to come. A solid start to the year and a show that showed that the WWE has faith in its current roster, and I couldn't ask for any more than that. They're not trying to rely on legends. They're trying to build their legends. By the way, those are my thoughts. Like, sub, share, comment below. Let me know what you thought of the Royal Rumble. Let me know what your favorite match was, who you thought was going to win, and if you're happy with who won. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.